Hello, it's Charles with Uber Eats. Today is Thursday, January 29th, 2026. And I am blessed and grateful because I received the precious gift of tomorrow with God's wake-up call this morning, and I got to see another day here on earth. Tomorrow most definitely is a precious gift to receive and a blessing, because when I went to bed last night, I had no guarantee and no promise that God would be giving me that wake-up call and I get to see another day here on earth. So I am blessed and grateful for the good Lord giving me that precious gift. But honestly, I went to sleep last night in the camper being blessed for everything I've got. I'm blessed for having relatively good health for a 50-year-old guy. I'm blessed because I'm building a wonderful, strong business with Uber Eats here in Tampa, Florida. I've got a decent place to sleep every night in the camper. And I get to enjoy delicious food anytime, anywhere I want. And I'm enjoying some beautiful weather here in Tampa, Florida. So God has blessed me with all these things and more, because God is great, God is good, God is great, always and always. Amen. The time right now is 3:56 a.m. and it is a chilly 35 degrees this morning in Tampa. And according to weather-atlas.com, the sun will rise today at 7:16 a.m. So that's 3 hours and 20 minutes from now, the sun will come up. And according to that website, the sun will set this evening at 6:09 p.m. So Tampa will enjoy over 10 hours and 10 hours and 53 minutes of daylight. And I also went on to the Powerball website to find out about the drawing that was held for the Powerball last night. That would have been Wednesday, the 28th of January. And I didn't hit a single number. My number that I play every time on the Powerball is 14, 22, 25, 37, 49, and the Powerball 23. Well, the number that came in last night was 21, 35, 40, 46, 68, and the Powerball 11. And no one hit the Powerball, the jackpot last night. So Saturday, January 31st, the Powerball jackpot is going to be an estimated $57 million. And of course, I'm sitting up at my normal spot at the Circle K at my favorite pump, and I've been inside already. And I got my free cup of ice. It's all crushed ice in my Starbucks cup. And this morning, I grabbed this tea and lemonade flavor of the Monster Rehab Revive, Refresh, Recover tea and lemonade. And this can has the date of J2508. And J is the 10th letter of the alphabet. So with today being the 29th, this can is 3 months and 21 days old. So it's a very fresh can of this Monster Rehab. I'm going to go ahead and get it cracked open. I'm very dry. I haven't had anything to drink since yesterday morning, so I need to rehydrate. This Monster Rehab will do the trick. I should be able to get the rest in there, hopefully. Almost. One more drink and I will. Yeah, there it goes. I had a wonderful day yesterday, not just because the weather was beautiful. It was just a beautiful day. Clear skies, hardly a cloud in the sky, sunny. And it warmed up a great deal going into the afternoon. It was just a beautiful day. After having a chilly morning, I needed that. And I got a notice. I went on to the Uber Eats app this morning, and I got a notice about. It said, the title of the notice said, "Hey, big tip receiver." And then I opened it, and the rest of it went like this. It says, "Charles, take a bow. You recently got a $15 tip. You're setting a high bar with your fantastic service, and customers are taking notice. And then it went on to describe 3 different ways I can continue to wow my customers. It was on-time deliveries, following through with their delivery requests, and the third thing was my acceptance score. I think those are just random. They don't necessarily apply to me, but those are 3 metrics that the Uber Eats app targets for improving customer service. All those numbers are good on my Uber Eats app, so I don't think that part of the message was particularly tailored to me, but I like the fact that it acknowledges that I'm getting great tips, because it reflects on my 100% customer service score, and it also acknowledges that I'm giving good service just in general. So I like the fact that the app sends those messages out from time to time. It had been doing that for a long period of time, and it stopped for a while. So I'm not sure why it stopped, but I'm happy that it started back doing that again. I also checked out my other metrics. I didn't do any deliveries Tuesday, so I don't have anything to compare from the day before, but I'm going to compare these to Monday's business. I did do deliveries on Monday. So as a result of Wednesday's business, my Deliver with Care is now up to 638. Looks like I had 2 people respond to my service yesterday. I had all these metrics went up too. So whoever scored me, the 2 people that scored me gave me high marks on all 5 metrics. So I'm very pleased with that. My friendly score went up 2 from 567 to 569. My quick and efficient score went up 2 from 557 to 559. My good communicator went up 2 from 545 to 547. And my perfect handoff remains an area of opportunity for me. It was at 527 as a result of Monday's business. But after Wednesday's business, I'm at 529. It went up. That one also went up too. And my on-time score improved from 92% to 94%. I arrived at stores and customers' homes on time 94% of the time. I still have 0% canceled orders. My acceptance score went down a little bit to 87. It was at 91 after Monday's business. I was 91%, but after Wednesday's business, I slipped to 87%. But I'm still maintaining 100% customer satisfaction. Now, as far as gas prices go, I did compare gas prices yesterday. Yesterday, this Circle K was at $2.65. Gas prices went up drastically at this Circle K from yesterday. This Thursday morning, it has went up 34 cents to $2.89. That's a huge jump. And it is more in line with the average price of gas in Florida. The average price of gas in Florida has went up 7 cents from yesterday. It's at $2.88. So this Circle K is 1 cent higher than the Florida state average. But according to AAA, it's 2 cents higher than the national average. So that's an unusual circumstance for this Circle K to be higher than both the Florida and national average, but that is the case this morning. The average price of gas has went down 1 penny from yesterday. It was $2.88 Wednesday morning, but this morning the national price of gas is at $2.87. So this Circle K is 2 cents higher than the national price of gas. I also wrote down what weatheratlas.com said about what we can expect for weather today in Tampa. And this is what it said about the weather for January the 29th. It said on Thursday, January 29th, it says sunshine is expected with little to no cloud cover. The high will be a comfortable 66 degrees with an overnight low of a chilly 43 degrees. Winds will be out of the northeast at 7 miles an hour. Humidity at 35% and precipitation probability at only 1%. So we're not likely to see any rain today in Tampa. This high of 66 degrees is in line with typical high temperature averages in Tampa, Florida, which is at 68%. So we're just slightly below average high temperature. So this is typical high temperature for Tampa, generally speaking. And then I asked Meta AI about the weather today, and this is how Meta AI responded to my question about the weather in Tampa today. It says, "You're spot on about the correlation between humidity and cloudiness. Generally, the low humidity is associated with clear skies and sunny weather. For tomorrow, January 29, Tampa weather is looking great. Expect sunny skies with a high of 66 degrees and a low of 42. And that's very similar to what weatheratlas.com had to say about the highs and lows. Humidity will be relatively low at 35%. And Meta AI made no mention of rain, so I expect no rain today, according to both Meta AI and weatheratlas.com. And then I went on to the YouTube page, 10 Tampa Bay. Meteorologist James Gregorio was on there. He happened to mention, I found this interesting, he happened to mention Columbus, Ohio weather. He said, Columbus is expected to have negative 11 degree temperatures on Wednesday. But today, James said rain is out of the question for Tampa, Florida, despite the cold front that's passing through. Expect chilly temperatures waking up Thursday, a high of 62 and a low of 42 on Thursday. And then he went on to say, possible Gulf effect snow showers are expected with the next cold front that's passing through over the weekend. So hope that Gulf effect snow showers don't affect me in my part of Tampa Bay, at least. Hopefully that's up north in the Big Bend area or the Panhandle. I also wrote down all my deliveries. I had a fantastic day on the app. I went back and looked at all the prior Wednesdays just for Tampa that I delivered. And this is the best. I had the best earnings Wednesday that I've ever had in Tampa so far. So I had a fantastic day on the app yesterday. Just a great day all around weather-wise. I had a fantastic breakfast at McDonald's. And I enjoyed a great earnings day on the app. So just I had a wonderful Wednesday yesterday. I had 22 deliveries and probably upwards of 26 or 27 customers altogether. I started off the day picking up Panera bread on Bruce B. Downs for Joshua. His fare was $6.04 and he tipped me $3, so I made $9.04 on Joshua's order. Thank you for that $3 tip, Joshua, and thank you for the Panera bread business. I really appreciate you. And then what would have been my second delivery was a Wawa order. I get there and someone had already picked it up. I should say someone stole the order. A driver came in and picked up the order and didn't check it out on their app and just kept the food. So I wasted a trip to the Wawa. And they knew that. They didn't want to tell me that's what happened, but they knew that that's what the driver did. Hopefully they'll remember that guy next time and they'll be more diligent and make sure he checks it out on his app. The people at the Wawa always make sure that I check it out on my phone. So I don't know why or how any driver gets away with stealing food from a Wawa, but it happened yesterday. I wasted a trip there. So my second trip actually was a double. After leaving the Wawa, I picked up food for Natalie. Natalie wanted El Jefe Cafe on Bush Boulevard. And the second part of the double was for Bianca. Bianca wanted McDonald's on Hillsborough. Bianca and Natalie, they tipped me $9. That was a very generous tip, Natalie and Bianca. I really appreciate that. and their fare was $2.63, so I made $11.63 on that double. Thank you so much for the El Jefe Cafe and McDonald's business and the generous tip. $9 is a fantastic tip. I made $11.63 there. Then I went on a string of singles. One looks like 5 singles in a row. Nate wanted Mi Pueblito Bakery on North Armenia. Nate tipped me $4.78 on a 201 fare, so I made $6.79 there. Thank you so much, Nate, for the nearly $5 tip. I really appreciate that. For my 4th trip, Dana wanted La Segunda Bakery on 5th. She tipped me $2 on a $2.35 fare, so I made $4.35 there. Thank you for the tip and the business, Dana. I really appreciate you. Lucy tipped me $2.08 for picking up her breakfast house on East Sly. Her fare was $4, so I made $6.08 on Lucy's delivery. That's the first time I've ever been to that place, the breakfast house on East Sly. So they were very slow. They weren't busy at all, and they were very slow getting food out. Maybe it just opened and they're still figuring things out in their kitchen and how to get food out, but that was really bad service, and customers were getting, the few people that were there weren't very pleased with the service either. So from what I witnessed, they weren't very verbal about it, but their body posture and how they were acting seemed impatient with the service there. That's the impression I got anyway. But thank you, Lucy, for the $2 tip and the breakfast house business. I appreciate you. And then my 6th trip was for Carla. Carla wanted Mr. Empanada on Armenia. Carla tipped me $2 on a $2 fare, so I made $4 on Carla's order. Thank you for the business and the tip, Carla. Then I picked up, my 7th trip was for Damon. Damon wanted Little Caesars Pizza on North Armenia. Damon tipped me $3.74 on a $2 fare, so I made $5.74 on Damon's pizza pickup. Thank you, Damon, for the $3.74 tip. I really appreciate you. This looks like a double. Number 8 was a double. Get a drink. That was after Damon's. Yes, Angel and Christy, they tipped me $6.43 for this double. Thank you, Angel and Christy, for that $6.43 tip. And it's $4 fare, so I made $10.43 on this double. Angel wanted Krispy Kreme donuts on Florida, and Christy wanted Wicked Oak Barbecue on North Florida. That was a very simple, easy double to do, and a good paying double, $10.43, and that was my best paying. No, I had $11.63. That looks like my best paying delivery was number 21, where they increased my tip. Yeah, that was a double. That was near the end of my day. But after dropping off Christie's Wicked Oak, I went on another double. Number 9 was a double. Lauren wanted Mr. B Restaurant on Nebraska, and Meg wanted Flan Factory on North Nebraska. Lauren and Meg, they tipped me $5 on a $6.72 fare, so I made $11.72 on that double. Thank you, Lauren and Meg, for the generous $5 tip and the business. That was another good paying double. Thank you so much for the business. I really appreciate the both of you. Meg, Lauren, I appreciate you, Angel and Christy, Damon, Carla, Lucy, and Nate, and Dana. I appreciate all my customers from yesterday. Everybody was very generous and kind, and I got business, more business than I could handle yesterday. I was very busy on the app, so I appreciate everybody that I helped out with food delivery yesterday. After dropping off Meg's Flan Factory order, I went on to pick up a single. Trip number 10 was a single for Ashley. Ashley wanted KFC on Florida. Ashley's fare was $2 and she tipped me $3.43, so I made $5.43 on Ashley's delivery. Thank you for the $3.43 tip, Ashley. And this was a double. Bobby and Bryce. Number 11 was a double. Bobby and Bryce wanted vegan international on Nebraska. They tipped me $7.74 on a fare of $5.59, so I made $13.23 on that double. First time being at that place. I never heard of a vegan international restaurant, but I did a pickup there, so hopefully I'll get more of those. After dropping off Bryce's order, thank you so much for the $7.74, Bryce and Bobby. I appreciate the both of you, and I appreciate the business. I went on to pick up trip number 12 for Sean. Sean wanted Little Greek on Bruce B. Downs. Sean originally tipped me $4 through the app on a $2 fare, so I was scheduled to make $6 on Sean's order, but after dropping off his order, Sean decided to give me an additional $3, so I actually made $9 on that order. Thank you for the overly generous tip of what amounted to $7. You gave me a $7 tip. Thank you so much, Sean, for that. That was very generous. I don't know what I did to earn a bigger tip. I treated you like I do all my customers, but I do appreciate you, Sean, for whatever you were acknowledging there. I appreciate that, Sean, and I appreciate the Little Greek business. Trip number 13 was for Mac. Mac wanted Panera bread on Highwoods Preserve. Mac tipped me $4 on a $2 fare, so I made $6 on Mac's delivery. Thank you for the decent tip, $4. I appreciate you, Mac. Then I went on trip number 14 for Amanda. Amanda wanted Fresh Kitchen on Bruce B. Downs. Her fare was $2 and she decided to tip me $7.57, which amounted to a total of $9.57 I got for delivering her Fresh Kitchen order. Thank you so much for the Fresh Kitchen business and the overly generous tip of $7.57, Amanda. I appreciate that. Then I went on trip number 15 for Sierra. Sierra did not tip me, but I got a fare of $4.04 for delivering her Popeye's chicken. So thank you for the Popeye's chicken business, Sierra. I appreciate that. Trip number 16 was for Emily. Emily wanted China Walk on Highway 301. Emily tipped me $2.35 on a fare of $3.72, so made $6.07 on Emily's China Walk delivery. Thank you for the $2 tip, Emily. Then trip 17 was for Kristen. Kristen was very generous, overly generous, with a $11.45 tip on a $2 fare. So I made $13.45 for delivering Cracker Barrel from Theater Drive for Kristen. Thank you so much, Kristen. That was an overly generous tip for just a simple order, simple delivery. I appreciate that. That was very kind and generous of you, Kristen. Then trip number 18 was a Culver's order. Jessica wanted Culver's from Boyette Road. Jessica gave me a decent tip of $5 on a $2 fare, so I had good earnings there for Jessica's orders. I made $7. So thank you for the generous tip of $5, Jessica, for your Culver's order. Then I went on trip number 19 was for Grace. Grace wanted Vineyards, Trattoria, and pizza on Apollo Beach Boulevard. Grace tip was generous and gave me a $7 tip. I made $9 altogether on Grace's delivery. Thank you for the generous tip of $7, Grace. I appreciate that. Then I picked up trip number 20 for Rose. Rose wanted Starbucks on Highway 41. Rose gave me nearly a $3 tip. She tipped me $2.91, and our fare was $2, so I made $4.91 on Rose's delivery. Thank you for the nearly $3 tip, Rose. I appreciate that. After dropping off Rose's Starbucks order, I went on trip number 21. That was for Brian. This is the first time I've been at this place. Beanie's Sports Bar. I think it's Sports Bar and Grill, but I left that part off. I just wrote Beanie's Sports Bar. But anyway, it's on Highway 41. Brian was overly generous and gave me a $12.41 tip through the app on a $2 fare. So I was scheduled to make $14.41, but an hour later, when the tip got closed out, I realized he increased my tip another $5. So I actually made $19.41 on a very simple delivery. So thank you so much for the overly generous tip, an incredible tip. He tipped me $17.41 through the app. So thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate that. You were the highest paying tip and the highest paying delivery of the day. So thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate you. And I hope to deliver food to you again. I appreciate you so much. And then my last trip of the day was 22 for Amber. Amber wanted Los Amigos restaurant on 7th Avenue. Amber tipped me $8 through the app on a $2.42 fare. So I was scheduled to make $10.42 on the app, but an hour later, Amber also increased the tip by $3. So she actually tipped me $11 through the app. So thank you so much, Amber, for the overly generous tip of $11. I made $13.42 from Amber's delivery. Thank you so much, Amber, for that. I'm not sure what I did to earn higher tips from Amber or Brian, but I did, and I really appreciate you. I treated you like I do all my customers, but I guess just some people are more generous than others is all that amounts to. So thank you so much, Amber and Brian. I appreciate the both of you for the business and the overly generous tips. Well, I'm going to get off here and get into the McDonald's and enjoy my breakfast and coffee. God bless you all, and I hope you all are having a great week like I am. I will talk to you soon. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.